miles go by, in the distance looming darkness, in the sky the moon is high. Little girl, the time is passing, it's time to go now. He whispers softly to you, I will love you with all my heart. Thunder's louder than his words, dear, a light cuts through the sky. Little girl, this road is winding, watch your step, open up your eyes. This is not how you want it to be. This is not how you want it to be. Hold tight onto your ticket, collection man is coming by. His eyes are they sincere, girl? Is a smile only to be quiet? Little girl, this time is passing, hold your chin up high. Little girl, this train is leaving, it's time to go now. This is not how you want it to be. This is not how you want it to be.
And that beautiful tune was performed and written by Cheryl Tomlin, who is in studio with us, and I appreciate you coming in here.
Well,
Cheryl.
thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
No, my pleasure. Great CD, and that CD's name is called "Allow Me the Pleasure," and the name of the group is Pipes. Does anyone explain a little bit how the title is, and how do you basically gig out? What's your brand, so to speak, of your band?
Pipes has been the current brand of, as far as my performances go, for the past, I don't know, maybe 2-3 years or so now, maybe 2 years. And before it was Confectioner's Affliction. Before that, I think I just went by my name. And Pipes actually came about because a friend of mine and I were at a coffee shop, and they had these beams above head, and I was trying to figure out a name that wasn't such a mouthful, because Confectioner's Affliction, people, it was like too much.
Right,
and
a little too difficult.
Yeah, and so I was
Speech major's fine. Everybody else will hassle with it.
Yeah, and so I was looking up, and I was like, I want that name, Pipes. That just says everything, which kind of goes with my music in itself, because, you know, it's been described as, my voice has been described, I should say, as having smoky undertones and dark and, you know, mysterious and all these other good words. And so I think that Pipes kind of speaks for itself in that.
And you want to discuss a little bit about the tune, how you came up with the title, and what the meaning of the lyrics are, and how the whole songwriting process worked for that particular track?
Sure. Train is one of my older songs, and in the key that it's in right now, I think it's E. It's kind of changed as far as my live performances since then. I changed it to a D instead. But
any specific reason for that? Is it easier to play or easier to sing? Or
I think both ways work. Vocally, it's just that I like the tone better in D, and I don't know, I might switch it up again for live performances. But the song itself came about through kind of self-therapeutic, well, in self-therapeutic ways, as far as me kind of analyzing myself and my interactions with the world and people, and how things aren't, as the last line kind of states itself, how they're always meant to be or how you thought they were going to be. And there are these cautions that one should take in life and learn from the mistakes as well as the victories that you have in order to progress forward. But even with those victories, you can't always anticipate like a long-term goodness that comes out of it, that sometimes there are going to be these little murky parts, which kind of lends to the minor chords and the minor key that the song is written in itself.
How were the vocals recorded? It sounds like you overdubbed yourself a little bit. You're harmonizing it yourself.
I did, and that was a happy mistake because I was working with Bill Kavanaugh at Bob Doc Studios where I recorded it, and I liked both vocal takes, and so I was like, well, why can't we use them both? And he's like, that's a great idea. And so we ended up doing that for that particular one. And I think for this track, he turned the lights out on me because I was having issues recording it and being comfortable because I was still kind of new to the whole recording concept. And it took a while to record this album in general. It took, probably like 5-6 years in that.
And this was one of your older tunes. So this tune's at least half dozen years old.
Right. So it was still pretty fresh when I wrote it, and I didn't like the vocals, and I had to wait for myself to like them.
Is it the sterileness that bother you of a studio, or the fact that there's kind of this immortal result happening? What kind of enters your mind then? You mentioned it was a little difficult at first. What would be some things you had to overcome?
I think it's because there's not that energy that you get from a live performance from your audience and connecting with them. And that kind of freaked me out a little bit and let me not relax. And so Bill was like, well, I'm just going to pretend like I'm not here, and I'm going to shut the lights off on you, and I'll let you take your time with it, and we'll just see how it goes. And that actually worked because from that, I was able to kind of transport myself into a different place in recording and let myself be a little more natural and to breathe. And breathing is very important, I've learned, with singing and the way that I sing and how I want my music to come across and be received. That breath isn't there for just me being alive. It's the life of the song itself. Yeah.
Well, it's a wonderful project. Your website, if people want more information about you and where your comings and goings are, it's pipesproject.weebly, weebly.com.
Yep.
I've never heard Weebly.com. What's that? There's like a...
It's one of those sites that allows you to use their templates to build your website because I'm not that computer savvy when it comes to it. Actually, my nephew helped me out with it. But it has all those little pockets that you need to put on for information and building your background and inserting info. So all I have to do is go up there and plug in my information, and it's great. And so that's where that extension comes from because I don't have like a pipes.com yet. So yeah, pipesproject.weebly.com. And usually if you put Pipes Project in like Google, Bing, my information is going to come up because that Pipes Project is how I kind of coin the search for my music, whether it's on YouTube. Pipes Project is on YouTube, and email Pipes Project is on this, like pipesproject.gmail.com for mailing list.
Well, one thing I've noticed just from knowing you a little bit is that you're pretty cutting edge. It looks like with social media. I got a tweet invitation, which is the second one of my entire life. I don't know quite how to do that. Don't feel somehow I'm slighted if I don't accept because I don't quite know how to do that. But
No worries.
you're on YouTube. How would people, if they want to see you visually, both audio and visually, how would they go about doing that? Because I know your website's got some audio and visual clips, and
Right.
and then YouTube you got some stuff. How would they get about doing that? Finding more about you, at least in terms of the
Yeah,
video versions of it.
video versions are available on YouTube, and I just finished uploading a couple more concerts. I've played at Abbey Pub, Uncommon Ground, Quenchers, which is one of my favorite places.
And Western, is it?
Western
yeah,
in
okay.
Fullerton.
I haven't been there in a while. Sure.
Yeah, that place, Friendly Tap, I love. Fitzgerald's, I love. And those places are like home, those three. I play there a lot, and I don't know, it's just comfortable. It's as comfortable as being in my living room, and the crowd is always warm. The owners, Rob Pierce, who you mentioned earlier, who
Right.
plays with Yellow Hammers, he has allowed me to do songwriter showcases there, which are really cool because I get to get people who normally haven't played together maybe before or in that part of the town and get together, hear each other's music, and meet and collaborate, and it inspires future works.
Well, that's great. It's and you've got some exciting gigs coming up here. You want to talk a little bit about that? We got one coming up on a Saturday. That's March 23rd on Common Ground.
Yep.
Where's Uncommon Ground at?
Uncommon Ground has 2 locations, but this particular one is on Devon, and that's over in the Loyola campus area in Uptown. I think that's where that is. And Uncommon Ground. And that one is going to feature not just me, it's actually my trio, if you will. And Pipes is at the moment Ryan Shepard on drums and David Walker on guitar. And the next album that we're working on right now will feature the whole of us, which I'm pretty excited about.
And that is an 8 o'clock start. How right? I think it was 8.
It actually starts at 10.
Oh, 10. You're going that late. Okay. And how many sets is that?
That's one full set, and then Ryan Whitney is also playing that night. Eastgate Cafe is Friday the 22nd.
Okay, one out of sequence. Okay, that's right. That's Friday the 22nd.
Yeah,
and
that's cool.
That's an early start over there?
Yeah, that one's at 7.
That's 7. So that's a 7 to 10.
Mm-hmm. And that's in Oak Park, the Eastgate Cafe.
Yeah, that's on Harrison and maybe a couple blocks west of Austin.
Austin, right.
How about that? Mm-hmm. And then April 27th. I want to talk about that one.
April 27th, I'm really excited about. I'm excited about all my shows because I'm glad to be playing out. But that one is an art collaboration where there won't just be music, but there's going to be live art performances, meaning that there are artists from painters, sketchers, sculptors, welders. Well, they'll be welding live. That's dangerous. But they're going to be creating art as the music's playing. So that's going to be really cool. And Kloss is in Cicero, right off of 58th and I think 58th and Cermak Road. But there'll be artists selling their art, and Kloss is a really great venue for this because it's just the aesthetics of the place is really awesome. It's this old bohemian style restaurant that just lends its ears to artistic, creation.
Never heard of the place.
It's
interesting.
awesome.
The 27th, and what day is that?
That's a Saturday.
It's a Saturday.
Yeah, and that's going to start at 7.
7 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you got 3 things, and your website's got this information for more particulars. It's pipesproject.weebly, weebly.com.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we give the listeners another taste of your music here? We're going to play the title track, or Allow Me the Pleasure. So let's play this, and then when we come out of it, we'll talk a little bit more about the songwriting process with that tune and why that tune is the title track here. Again, we got Cheryl Tomlin with me. You're listening to Local Music Focus here at WRG Triton College Radio. And I'll also have you, when we come out of break, you can do one of our reads. How's it? You can take a pick of any one of those reads. I always like making people have to work their way to do an interview, but we got a lot of great information. There is, I'll do real quick here on the coming up here, and I've been here a number of times taking my kids or now nieces and nephews. The 42nd Annual Triton Trooper Circus is coming up. It's a $6 event. Showtimes are Thursday, Friday, Saturday this week, the 21st, 22nd. 23rd, 7 o'clock with a 1 o'clock matinee on Saturdays. Doors open 1 hour before showtimes. No credit or debit cards accepted. Cash and carry. Triton College Center, and that's 2000 Fifth Avenue, River Grove. So we're going to play here Allow Me the Pleasure title track from the Pipe CD, which is available at Kagan and Gaines.
Yes, Kagan and Gaines Music in Forest Park.
Okay. You know, and you want to give a quick number for there if people...
Phone number?
Yeah, if there's a phone number for them
Sure.
to call, or they just come in and just ask for the Pipe CD.
708-771-2152.
Okay, great. And this is Allow Me the Pleasure.
Come together, let's fly away like paper planes, crash into unknown. They'll find us naked, wrapped up in a blanket of misery. That was our parachute down. Allow me the pleasure to introduce myself. I'm the one who tapped your shoulder, disappeared. Did you see me the first time I kissed your lips and said you were the only one for me? Mountain of pleasure from a molehill of emotion. Can you break me harder? Now let me bleed. I can smell you from miles away. Your stench is so erotic, sadistic. How I keep letting you leave me. Allow me the pleasure to introduce myself. I'm the one who tapped your shoulder, disappeared. Did you see me the first time I kissed your lips and said you were the only one for me? Can you mend this broken heart back together? Can you tie up these loose ends without making a noose? I'll be there for you to pick you up while you're down. You smile at me just 'cause you knew I would, knew I would. Knew I would. Allow me the pleasure to introduce myself. I'm the one who tapped your shoulder, first time I kissed your lips and said you were the only one for me. Only one, only one, only one.
Title track from Cheryl Tomlin's CD, Allow the Pleasure, recorded here in the Oak Park area at Bob Dog Studios. Bill Cavanaugh was the recording engineer and the mix person. I don't know if there's an official name for that. But before that, we've got an actual read here, a live read from Cheryl. We're going to make her sing for us supper. Is that the phrase, maybe? You could you have to earn your keep around here, but we've always liked to do our public service announcements here at Triton College.
Oh, yes. Yes, you should. So here we go. Calling all golfers and Triton Foundation supporters, the Triton College Foundation will host its 16th annual golf outing on Thursday, June 20th at White Pines Golf Club in Bensonville. The event will kick off at 10 a.m. All interested golfers are invited to attend the event, which will include an 18-hole round of golf, golf carts, goodie bags, lunch, dinner, and prizes. In addition to golfers, the foundation also is seeking hole and raffle prize sponsors. Individual and corporate sponsorships are appreciated. All proceeds from the annual golf outing will benefit the Triton Foundation Scholarship Fund. To register a foursome or as an individual, or to become a sponsor, please contact the Triton College Foundation at 708-456-0300, extension 3758.
Wonderful job. And for those of you just tuning in, we have Cheryl Tomlin with us. Going to spend another half hour or so. And we are previewing the Allow Me the Pleasure CD from Pipes. We talked about a number of projects she's got coming up. We'll be talking about that a little bit here. We just played the title track. Would you want to kind of give us an idea how that song came about, how you recorded it, or more importantly, let's talk about how you wrote it. What's the title mean to you, and some of the lyrics, and like what was the writing process?
Allow Me the Pleasure is one of my oldest songs that has been reworked a couple times, and this is its original format, but it's changed a lot as far as how I play it now and how I will play it at the shows that are coming up. It came about when I felt most comfortable about actually getting into the world of performing my music live. And it was kind of my coming out song, like Allow Me the Pleasure, to entertain you with my voice and my lyrics and hopefully leave you with something meaningful that even though the song is very personal to me, as most of my songs are, and a lot of them are about me and my relationships with people, mostly, intimate relationships and things like that. Some of them which, have not worked out, and some of them that have worked out in other ways, and how I learned from them, and how there's this, it's still like that ribbon of caution that threads through a lot of my songs, that you have to be careful with the lessons that are taught, and you're aware of those lessons that you're being taught in life, so that in the future your decisions that you make are a little wiser, to help you progress through life, and you don't have too many setbacks in there. But that's pretty much how that song came about, and I was learning about the capo and learning about different voicings, and challenging my voice to see what it could do, and taking it to what I thought it couldn't do. I don't want to say that I have too many shortcomings when it comes to my vocal range, though I am a tenor, and most of my songs are kept within that alto tenor range, and I don't try to go past that because it's not what I do. But it was
Now,
a
by
challenge.
tenor, for those in the audience that aren't as familiar with it, that's definitely a lower register for a
Right,
woman.
Cassandra
For
Wilson-esque.
for a high, I mean, for a male, that's high on. For a
Right,
woman, it's lower.
right, right. So
Yeah, yeah. Who have you been compared to? Like, for example, Cassandra Wilson would be a good example. I mean, there are people that.
who know her can easily kind of tell that she's one of my influences vocally as far as her stylings and what she does. I have been compared usually right off the bat to Tracy Chapman, though I believe that my style is not like hers. And so I wouldn't go out to compare myself to her as far as my music goes. Other people who listen to my music and the phrasing and the vocals and the chords that I use will pick up on my influences, which are actually grunge influences and industrial and, like Depeche Mode, 80s, dark, brooding type of music. Grunge artists like Alice in Chains and Stone Temple Pilots, Nirvana's in there, a couple other artists names I'm blanking on right now.
I saw Led Zeppelin. And
Led Zeppelin is definitely on my list of
I
influences.
caught that. Yeah, you're all over the map. It's a nice thing.
PJ Harvey, Nina Simone, Tori Amos, who I love, and those women artists that I just named are like the core of what I do and who my influences are, and be able to create provocative lyrics and music that stand out and that kind of separate me from a lot, well, as far as I think, not to sound cocky, but from a lot of artists that might be out there right now, or at least artists that are commercial. I listen to a lot of things that aren't on radio, and I love that Pandora introduces me to a lot of those things, but there aren't too many voices that I hear that are like those that I have picked up on, like Nina Simone or like PJ Harvey or like Tori Amos, who have done so much for women in music in my eyes. And
well, especially Tori's done a nice job. If I recall, I think she's like self-promoting or self-releasing her CD. She's kind of a businesswoman too, and really led the way there early on in terms of being in control of your career and from a business monetary standpoint. So that's kind of inspirational there too, that you can kind of do both. I noticed on your website that you've got college degrees that aren't totally musical.
Right.
Though now it sounds like, and if I'm wrong, please correct me, that you're pretty much focusing on music. Why music? What does music draw you? Why at this point in time do you want to be so musically bent? Is it just something inherent, or what's causing it?
Keeping my sanity would be the first thing that comes to my mind, because I didn't, when I was 12 years old, I didn't think that I was going to be a musician. Actually, I went to school thinking I was going to be a psychologist, and ended up not turning out that way, because I went to school, Carnegie Mellon in Pittsburgh, and I took a writing workshop. And when I was there, it just opened up a new door for me, because it was at that time where I actually started writing my music as well. I picked up guitar when I was 17, and that creative writing process is what got me into songwriting, and that's what I do now. I am a singer-songwriter, but I graduated with creative writing, and I have other like notches in my belt as far as things that I can do. But for the most part, music is at the core of that. I work in a music shop at Kagan and Gaines Music, and it's that's allowed me to meet other musicians and to develop my craft to what it is right now. And I've come this far right now with it that I don't think it's a turning back for me as far as what I'm doing. It's so much a part of my life that I want to keep that going.
You also played started at 12 on violin, and I noticed we talked
10.
off mic at 10. Okay. We talked off mic about some other projects you did, specifically one being Holiday House.
Right.
Now, you played violin, I believe, with them.
Right.
Now, I noticed on this CD you're not really featuring the violin. Is there, when you play out, for example, these gigs that are coming up, would you be playing violin, or is it pretty much exclusively guitar?
I won't say that violin won't come into play. At that Kloss show, you will hear me play violin, and it's more so because I'm collaborating with the artists that are actually playing there that night. And I may even feature violin on some of my songs. It's a little more difficult, voicing-wise, to get all of that together. I have a friend, Ian Leith, who's on not vacation, he's working now, but he is out of the realm of this area, that he actually helps me out a lot musically as far as sitting in on guitar and bass when I need him to, and his guitar abilities, and he's a great guitarist, allows me to play violin and sing, and that's how the CD release actually for Allow Me the Pleasure went on, because he played my guitar part and I was able to do violin, which was very awesome of him to do.
And that violin you may be pulling out, that's April 27th, 7 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Saturday. That's kind of it sounds like a merger of a lot of different artistic idioms. You're saying there's going to be artwork, soul, sounds fascinating. Why don't you spell the name out, because I'm not that familiar with you. You said it's about 58th Street and 22nd and Cicero. What's the name of the place? Kloss?
Kloss, K-L-A-S restaurant. And you can find that on...
K-L-A-S.
Yeah, K-L-A-S, yeah.
And
if you Google it, it'll pop up.
Okay. Or pipesproject.weebly.com probably has that information.
Yep.
Along with, let's talk about the other two gigs, too, just in case people just tuned in here. You've got March 22nd, that's a Friday night, that's 7 to 10.
Mm-hmm, at Eastgate Cafe.
Okay, and we discussed where it's at, Harrison. And they've got wonderful food. I think it does have liquor. It's, it's a nice full-service venue. And then the big one, March 23rd, that's a Saturday night, prime time, 10 o'clock, Uncommon Ground. Let's go back to Eastgate real quick. Who's going to be with you on that gig?
It's actually me doing solo for a good portion of it, and Ryan's going to join me later on some percussion to help me out for the Uncommon Ground Devon show. And I'll stress that it's Devon, not the Clark Street Devon. Not the Clark Street Uncommon Ground, the one on Devon in Uptown. That'll be the full trio for that one. Mm-hmm. And then there's also June 1st. I forgot about that one. And that's going to be at Friendly Tap. Rob Pierce of the Yellow Hammers, he hosts a Friendly Folk Fest is the name of it, and he asked me to play that, and that's coming up as well.
And what is June 1st? I'm looking at my trusty calendar.
June 1st, I believe, is going to be a Friday or Saturday. I'm really bad when it comes to those. Keeping track of those.
June 1st is a Saturday night.
Okay.
Okay, so that's going to be like a multi-act bill type thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a massive, should be fun. That's Friendly Tap in Berwyn there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you got a lot of different things going. I think we talked a bit about your projects. So you do solo, you do a group, you do the pipe, and you'll book under different name. You might be using your own name.
Oh no, it'll be Pipes.
It's
whatever
always
I do,
Pipes.
Whether I'm playing solo or
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's just the lineup may vary, but Pipes is it's you.
That's me.
That's kind of your alter ego. It's great.
Kind of like Trent Reznor with 9 Inch Nails, in a way, who I love.
Well, you are kind of one of Triton's very own. You're from Maywood. You've attended classes here, so there's a nice tie-in.
When I was in Upward Bound, I attended college prep courses here at Triton. Yeah.
Well, that's a great thing, and good experience, I assume.
Oh yeah.
How many classes did you take total then? What did you do?
Oh man, because it was from my sophomore year to
of high school
to senior year, so quite a number of classes on top of my workload at Proviso East, where I went to school.
So how would that program work then? So you You like went mornings to Proviso and then came here afternoons? Or?
It was Saturday. Saturdays we
Okay.
spent here from like 10 a.m. till what 3, somewhere in there. And
Wow, that's dedication.
yeah, yeah, it was a good program, and it took care of a lot of the gen ed classes that I would have had to take going into my freshman year. So I was freer to take more electives and things like that for school.
Now you've got a very interesting jacket here. This is one I've never seen before. It looks like it's hand stitched.
It is.
I hate talking about visual things on radio, but I'm kind of forced to. It's cardboard with
Black
how would you
stitching.
describe? Why don't you describe it? And how did the whole form? And whose idea was it? And
It was
how it all came
my
about?
idea. Well, actually, I can't say it was all my idea. My friend Jen Donahue, who did the artwork for this album, and I love her for that. Thank you, Jen. I asked her to do a photo shoot, and we were going to originally have that in the violin room of the store where I work. But I had this idea. I was like, maybe you could do a caricature of me. And she mapped it out, and I was like, yeah, can you make it more puppet-like? And so this is what she came out with. And actually, the drawings that you see here are the stages that it took to get to the front cover. And I love them all, so I decided to keep them. And yeah, when she showed it to me, and I was like, done, this is great. And I originally was going to go through like a mass CD maker distributor, and for time purposes, it ended up not working out. And so I'm like, the CD is coming out, my CD release, what am I going to do? And I decided that I was going to hand make it, which turned out to be great because in the end, it's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make it more of, like, I don't know, I guess more tactile to the person receiving it, to make it a little more personal than something that was just, mass produced and shrink wrapped and things like that.
Right.
So
No, it's got definitely a
yeah.
homemade vibe. You're not mass sending it out, or it's not mass available. We
No,
talked
it's not.
earlier. Yeah. Well, now, how would people get that then?
They could only really get it from coming to the shows or to go to Kagan and Gaines Music and picking it up because there's not even a digital release of this album yet. It'll be available at some point, but not quite yet. But yeah, coming out, if not, I wouldn't say, yeah, shows are probably the best way to do that. And I don't know, I guess it's worth it. I only have a limited number of copies of these left. So yeah, they're precious to me anyways.
Well, you can see I don't rank. I get the one. I had to get my own sleeve for it.
How do you know this isn't for you?
No, please believe me, I'm not worthy of that. Please send it. I mean, it's so handcrafted. It doesn't fit as well anyway. But no, I appreciate the offer. Where do you want to be? I mean, I assume you got goals because you seem like you're very together and very future oriented about what you want to do. What do you want to do with your career? Where would you like to be in 5 years? Let's say.
Let's see. Well,
Do you see yourself doing kind of being more of a national presence? You mentioned Nina Simone and Cassandra Wilson, who's had a nice career. Not overly prolific, but she's got another half dozen CD. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I mean, it seems like she's got very interesting projects every couple of years and written up on national magazines. Is that something that interests you to kind of expand, gig out more, and really give it a whirl?
For the most part. I mean, my ultimate goal is to have my music reach as many people as possible. And not only that, to give them something that isn't out there right now. And like, as far as what I've noticed with music these days, that it doesn't leave you with much. And like, it's there and the music is there, but you listen to it, but what do you really come away with? But with like really catchy lyrics or a catchy beat or a catchy tune. And I'm not saying this to downplay the music that's commercial out there, but I just want people to feel the music more, and to let what I say or the music that's being played around my words take them someplace that they're able to reflect on a situation and maybe in the end come out a little bit better than they were going into it. I don't need to be a billionaire. I mean, if I made enough from playing that,
millionaire's enough. Okay.
Millionaire's enough.
Yeah.
Thousandaire, if that would be fine with me, enough to be comfortable. It doesn't take a lot to make me happy, and my friends definitely know that. But this is what I do because I love it, and I love that people have received it so well, and it's humbling to that, because they're friends of mine. They come to the shows, and they don't have to, but they do to support it. And I don't tell them enough, but it's a very humbling thing to have that, and for people to genuinely appreciate and like what I do. It makes it worthwhile, but it just makes it worthwhile to me because I love doing it. It's not work for me. But yeah, what I want in the long run, yeah, it'll be great.
We'll keep
be on a
at it,
soundtrack or two.
That would be nice, and that seems to be kind of an approach a lot of artists are going now in terms of being placements in TV series, things like that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of that placement stuff. Why don't we play another song here? I appreciate you coming in again, Cheryl.
Thank you, Nick. I appreciate you having me.
My pleasure. We got the last song. This is a 3-song EP.
Yes.
I think we forgot to mention that. It's Allow Me the Pleasure is the name of the one. The last track you took the jacket from me, so I can't really announce that one. And that is, again, was recorded. It's recorded and mixed by Bill Cavanaugh at BobDogStudios.com. Mastered by Brian Ziske.
Ziske, and he's wonderful. And I actually met him through Troy Leaf Thompson, who also is a semi-regular at Fitzgerald's in Friendly Tap. And he forwarded me his information. He just did a beautiful job on the mixing, and I will definitely be working with him again in the future on that.
Okay, we're going to play Starstruck Superman, but first we're going to do a quick little promo here at WRG, and then go right into Cheryl's tune. Here again, we've got Cheryl Tomlin, her band, or like the way she gigs. How would we phrase that?
It's my band.
It's your
Pipes.
band. Yeah, okay, it's Pipes. So it's pretty much Pipes is what you got to look for. It is pipesproject.com. No, pipesproject.weebly.com. WEEBLY.com. I've got Cheryl Tomlin in here with us, a violinist, guitarist, vocalist, songwriter. Her CDs Allow Me the Pleasure, available at Kagan and Gaines. We also have some upcoming gigs for her. March 22nd at Eastgate Cafe, that's 7 to 10. Then there is March 23rd at the North Side, one on Devon and Common Ground. That's a 10 o'clock start. And then the local area, Cicero, that's a Klaus. When you can say it again.
Klaus.
Okay, that's 7 o'clock. That's kind of an artwork type thing. Sounds real interesting. That's on 22nd and 58. Again, her website has more information about those gigs too. Pipesproject.weebly.com here. And as I mentioned, we're going to do a promo here of a great show that all of you should listen to here at Triton College.
It was called freeform, underground, progressive. We call it classical rock. This is Tom Masek. Join me Thursday nights at 8 for a musical journey back to when rock and roll and the FM radio band first got acquainted. That's classical rock, where we play phonograph records. Thursday nights at 8, here on 88.9 FM, WRRG.
glimmer in his eyes was a bad one today. Shoes torn and worn like his insides, the price he had to pay. Close the door. You're deep inside now. Why don't you pull those knees up to your chest, boy? The water's rise, my little starstruck Superman. You can't move stone walls with your eyes. No, they're too sunken to see. You try so hard to free your mind, but the emptiness, it won't set you free. Close the door. You're deep inside now. Why don't you pull those knees up to your chest, boy? The waters rise, my you light a candle for the sins you made. Silver spoon that never failed. The cold it blisters, you're an open wound. Never listen to what mama said. Close the door. You're deep inside now. Why don't you pull those knees up to your chest, boy? The waters rise, my starstruck Superman. My starstruck Superman. Yeah, we're gonna run to now. We're gonna run to now. Oh.
again, Cheryl Tomlin from her CD here, Allow Me the Pleasure. It's the name of the group is Pipes, Starstruck Superman. You've been listening to WRRG Triton College Radio, River Grove, local music focus show. Nick Calabre's here, and I got one more hour. Cheryl's going to be taking off in about 5 minutes. Really appreciate you coming, Cheryl.
Oh, thank you again.
You've been a wonderful guest. You're welcome back anytime. This is available again at Kagan and Gaines. We talked about your upcoming gigs here. We've got Friday, March 22nd, Eastgate Cafe, 7 to 10. Uncommon Ground on Devon, March 23rd. That's a Saturday. That's 10 o'clock. And then April 27th, that's 7 o'clock too. Pipesproject.weebly.com for more information about her comings and goings. And you want to give a little background too on this tune? What is this tune? Starstruck Superman. How did you write that? How did it come about?
Came about because I was obsessed with Stone Temple Pilots' Core album. I was listening to it a lot at this particular time in my life, and I was seeing a person that was going through a lot with his life, and the not the theme, but the concept of the song is more like the torments that we have in our life, and those torments that are surrounded by, addictions or these habitual habits that we have that get ourselves in these dire straits of sorts, and how sometimes you're able to make your way out of them and you're able to come out on top and see the light, and sometimes some people don't, and they end up going into those dark places and not able to come out of them, unfortunately. And I was reflecting a lot on, musicians that I grew up on, like Lane Staley, Kurt Cobain, and, a lot of those other ones that didn't make it, Michael Hutchence, because of whatever, negativisms that were going on in their lives that, they were fighting. And it's a really personal song to me. I've had a lot of people who've talked with me about that particular song and how it's been something that resonates with them on a very personal level, and it's like I said, it's humbling that people actually listen to my songs and are able to reflect on them like that. And it's probably one of my favorites of mine that I've written and performing as well.
Well, again, thanks for coming. We're going to play one more tune. Want to play the first song we played tonight, Train, or you want to Allow Me the Pleasure again? Your choice. How's that?
You know what? I think Allow Me the Pleasure, only because Bill Cavanaugh does such a great job, ending with that bass line. He's on slide, fretless bass with that one.
Fretless bass, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of basses. I've seen him play a number of times. He likes pulling out some choice jewels. There's some 5 strings and semi-hollow ones, all kinds of stuff. So, Cheryl, again, thanks for coming in. You're going to be over at Fitzgerald's. If people want to see you live a little bit, you can go to Fitzgerald's Sidebar.
Open mic tonight,
Open mic,
Tuesdays.
And I'm sure you'll have a couple of tunes. I'm sure there'll be great. Mark Bishop still does it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so
he does.
He'll have a couple of songs there, so you can see that. Again, thanks for coming in. This, again, is Cheryl Tomlin. Her CD is Allow Me the Pleasure. This is the title track here. WRG Triton College Radio.
Come together, let us fly away like paper planes, crash into unknown. They'll find us naked, wrapped up in a blanket of misery. That was our parachute down. Allow me the pleasure to introduce myself. I'm the one who tapped your shoulder, disappeared. Did you see me the first time I kissed your lips and said you were the only one for me. Mountain of pleasure from a molehill of emotion. Can you break me harder? Now let me bleed. I can smell you from miles away. Your stench is so erotic, sadistic. How I keep letting you leave me. Allow me the pleasure to introduce myself. I'm the one who tapped your shoulder, disappear. Did you see me the first time I kissed your lips and said you were the only one for me? Can you mend this broken heart back together? Can you tie up these loose ends without making a noose? I'll be there for you to pick you up while you're down. You smile at me just 'cause you knew I would, knew I would. Knew I would. Allow me the pleasure to introduce myself. I'm the one who tapped your shoulder, disappeared. Did you see me the first time I kissed your lips and said